So anyway, during there was an IMAX promotional video with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And they're like, what's the deal with IMAX? You love IMAX. And this is an IMAX promotional
Can you
video.
somehow promote IMAX without promoting something you do? The Rock? Can you do that? Could you just, out of the goodness of your heart, solely promote IMAX as an enjoyable viewing experience?
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing and with no kickback to yourself?
Yep.
Bearing in mind you probably just got paid $30 million to do Red One.
Yeah, good question.
And he's like, oh, good reminder about Red One.
Speaking of, he said, I was midway through
I'm going to start again. I'm The Rock. I didn't misspeak. I decided to say some gibberish at the start.
He said, I was midway through shooting Red One. I had the opportunity to see Oppenheimer. I watched it in the IMAX theater with where Christopher Nolan watches and screens his movies.
Why didn't you watch it at the time, The Rock?
I don't know. I even asked I'll ask them to let me sit where Chris sits. They said, Chris sits here. I watched Oppenheimer. It was amazing, but it got me thinking, holy shit. Red One on this screen with this technology could be game over. I remember texting Jake Kasdan, director, a picture of my bare chest and a picture of the screen, and we realized how.
Wait,
cool
you were shirtless? You were shirtless in the IMAX cinema?
Yeah, and we realized how cool IMAX would be.
He had the realization of how good Red One would look on the screen. He just tore his shirt off. He was just filled with the power of cinema and he just ripped his shirt.
Now, this is obviously bullshit. He doesn't mean it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what about Red One made you, does any element of that movie made you go, God, I wish this was a bigger screen?
I wish this was bigger. No, absolutely not. Oh, man, maybe it's time the snow when we're running across the beach.
Yeah.
You know? What about...
It looked like an Apple movie.
What about when the witch became a really big witch? What if that was even bigger using the magic of IMAX?
Oh, God, I don't even know if I can handle that. Yeah. So it opened in international territories other than the US last week, but now it's opening in the US, and it's looking like it's going to make 30 to 35 for its opening weekend.
Seems low.
It's bad. I mean, if this was made for $90 million, which it should have been, and not $250 million, then that would have been like a respectable opening. But no, this is going to bomb, and it should because it's bad, and I can't believe I said best movie ever. I can't believe you tricked me.
But it's not the
worst.
worst. See, that's the thing. I mean, that's the dilemma of our rating system is if it's not the worst movie ever.
I think Chris Evans did it. I think he got me.
Yeah.
With his charm and his brown clothes.
Oh, just his dung-soaked clothing. Yeah. Well, that'll do it.
Maybe it was best movie ever.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Anyway, more DJ news or DTRJ news. That's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I know.
People call him DJ. Did you know that?
Nobody calls him that.
I've seen in interviews, people go, they say, DJ. They say, what are you doing? And he goes, I don't know. This is by GQ. They asked him, so we covered this a while back, but The Rock apparently was very late on a bunch of Red One shoots and other shoots prior to that, and he was so immersed in the process of filmmaking that he'd piss
Once he got there,
he'd piss in bottles and hand them to people as opposed to stepping away for them
as wrap gifts.
Yeah,
you'd hand him the Rock's piss-filled bottle.
You can wrap that though.
That's
you wrap
right.
it yourself. So they asked him on lateness, and he said, "Yeah, that happens, but not that amount. By the way, that was a bananas amount. That's crazy, ridiculous." And then they said, they asked him about peeing in bottles, and he said, "Yeah, that happens. I've said 1,000 times, hey, I'm here. Come and ask me, and I'll tell you the truth."
Sure.
All right.
The Rock, you're not a trucker on like a 24-hour journey that you have to ship some, I don't know, some gas across state lines or whatever. You got to piss in that bottle.
Do you reckon he'd ever turd out in a bottle? Hand it to somebody on set?
Do you think he'd ever turd out?
Yeah.
I don't think he would. No, I don't think he would.
But if you asked him, he'd tell you the truth about it.
Oh, you would? Yeah. So if somebody could get that question to him.
You turn now?
Hey, DJ. Hey, DJ, is it now? Is it now, brother?
Big time. So, just good stuff. Good stuff.
Also, you don't have to confirm any of those things, The Rock. You could have just said, what is anybody talking about?
I don't ask me that.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to
Is there
ask.
any proof of that?
Yeah.
You know?
Just all these turded out bottles.
Just go to the provided bathroom on set because you're The Rock.
Yes.
You're a big celebrity.
You're a big celebrity.
And you could just be like, hey, let's pause for 5 minutes while I turd out, everyone. And then it'd be like, ring, and the director would be like, and then all the sets would part or whatever, and the director would have the loud hailer and it'd be like, The Rock's turding out, everybody. Rock's turding out. Quiet on set. Quiet on set. The Rock's
not
turning
break
out.
for lunch?
Nope.
Just quiet. Everyone be quiet.
Yeah.
Listen to him turning out.
Yeah, that's right.
This is from Benson Mate, who says, #Weekly Planet Pod. So glad I got to see you live in Birmingham. Thank you so much. I should have hung around. Tell Meso about the idea of humanizing the Rock. Okay, I'll just quickly do this. So on the last show, you know that we did a Plumbing the Death Star topic.
Yeah.
And that topic was, how would you humanize the Rock? Joel had the idea to shrink him down, give him the leg lengthening surgery, but in reverse.
Okay,
so he's the same, but he's little.
Okay, yeah, he's compact.
Yeah, he's compact, right?
Yeah.
So then he's more like, he's not the biggest man in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's more relatable because he's a smaller human being.
Like the pebble.
Yeah, that's right. Jackson had the idea to pretend you kill him with a rock and then 3 days later he returns and then you say he's the Messiah.
Yeah, that would fix his ego problem.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I had the idea that and it was kind of long and involved, but basically you leave him on an island and you tell him it's for a reality show where the Rock survives on an island. You give him all these human growth hormones and all these protein powders and whatever he needs.
He doesn't need anything, James. He just needs you got a coconut tree. You got to exercise.
Exactly. So he has all that stuff stashed away.
Sure.
So there's cameras there, but there's nobody there, and he's just having the time of his life. And then after a month, when you're supposed to come get him, nobody comes.
Okay.
And then in the distance, you set off an explosion that looks like a nuclear bomb.
Okay,
The cameras go dark, but they're still running.
Oh, yeah, nice.
He thinks he's alone.
Nice.
And then you watch him slowly unravel. Now, he's not dying because there's plenty of food, but he deflates because he runs out of his supplements.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh, you think he maybe wouldn't stay fit? You'd think he'd stay fit for the cannibals.
No, there's nobody. There's literally nobody there.
Right.
So you watch his hair grow out. What kind of hair pattern is he working with?
Okay, sure.
He's stripped down to his core, and then after a few months, you just go get him, and you see what he's like.
I don't think he'd deflate. I think he'd be like, "I got to survive this universe. I'm gonna."
No, because he's gonna start rationing out his food.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I think you come back and you've got a relatable story, and people might be like, "Isn't that cruel to torture the Rock?" And set him on an island and have him think the world has ended.
He'll be right, though.
Yeah, exactly. And if Mr. Beast can poison children, why can't we do this?
That's exactly.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Did you see there was an interview with Sean Evans from Hot Ones?
Yeah, I mentioned this. This is how we came up with the topic.
Yeah, who said, for people who don't know, who said they've always wanted to get The Rock on Hot Ones, but The Rock's team was like, does he have to eat chicken wings? Can he eat grilled salmon strips?
No.
Come on, man.
Eat the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, what is, how much is 10 bites of chicken going to cost you?
You're enormous.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Settled it. Come on, man. Are you afraid of, is he afraid of chicken?
He might be afraid of chicken. I think also at this point, he needs that show more than they need him, honestly.
Right.
Like genuinely.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.